Should you pay off your car loan early? Here's how to know if it would save you thousands or leave you wishing you had held on to your cash. Because right now, a record number of Americans owe more on their car than it's actually worth. And that gap compounds. But before you pay off your car, let's see what the math says is the right move. Right now, 30.5% of people trading in their car are underwater on the loan. That means over 30% of people owe more on their car than the car is worth. And this plays a huge factor in whether you should or shouldn't pay off your car early. The average gap between the true value on what's owed on a car is $7,214. And for over 25% of car trade-ins, the gap is more than $10,000. But if you're in this situation, did you do anything wrong? Probably not. You probably never even missed a payment. But unfortunately, the math says that your car depreciated faster than the car loan balance went down. And depending on your down payment and loan term, that's true for almost everyone in the first few years of a car loan. But there's another problem, and it's not just this massive gap. It's that many people don't understand how this gap often moves into their next loan and what that means for their financial health moving forward. So let's say you're underwater on your car loan, and it's time to trade in. And the dealer offers you a quick fix that goes something like this. Just roll the balance into your next loan. Easy.
How much are you paying each month?
$930.
Wrong. Because it's not easy when your next car loan is $916 a month, which is the average payment on these new loans. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, more than 1 in 10 borrowers do this more than once, rolling the negative equity into the next loan, and maybe the one after that too. It's a vicious cycle. And it goes like this. Say you owe $6,000 more than your trade-in is worth. You roll that into the new $30,000 loan and that becomes $36,000, stretched over 84 months so that the payment doesn't spike. Now let's say 2 years later you need to trade in again, and you've barely dented the balance on your 7-year loan, so you're underwater again. That's how a one-time gap becomes almost impossible to escape. So, should you pay your car loan off early? It comes down to 3 numbers. 1, your interest rate. 2, your remaining balance compared to what the car is actually worth today. And 3, what else that cash could be doing for you. Let's say your rate is high, 9 or 10% high, and you're close to positive equity already, meaning you've almost paid off the loan. Paying extra towards the loan makes sense here. You're saving yourself interest and getting closer to owning more of the car than you owe. But let's say your rate is low and you're deep underwater on the loan. Throwing extra cash at the loan isn't going to get you to positive equity quickly enough to make a major difference. That cash may be more useful somewhere else, especially if you have a higher interest debt or don't have much saved for an emergency. Now let's put numbers on it so you can see exactly how this works. Say you own $10,000 on your car at a 10% interest rate. That's a very expensive loan. That's roughly $1,000 per year in interest. And if your extra cash is sitting in savings, earning roughly 4%, that's not really doing much when you're paying 10% on the loan. So in this case, putting extra cash towards the car loan lowers your debt and brings you closer to positive equity on the loan. But let's flip the numbers now. Let's say you owe $10,000, but your interest rate is only 4%. Now maybe you could wipe out the loan today, but it's important to consider what else that cash could be doing for you. Paying your car off early will give you roughly 4% on the balance you eliminate. That means you'd save about $400 per year in interest. But if you took that $10,000 in cash and put it into a high-yield savings account earning 5%, saving that $400 in interest doesn't make sense. Doing the latter would actually let you earn roughly $100 more per year. Plus, you're keeping that $10,000 liquid. And this is exactly why taking the time to do the math matters. Now, a lot of people are curious how refinancing works in all of this. And the truth is, it's a different tool with a different job. It can lower your monthly payment if your credit has improved, but it does not erase negative equity. You can refinance and still owe more than the car is worth. You just have a smaller bill each month. And since we're here, let's talk about what happens if your car gets totaled while you still owe more than the car is worth. Gap insurance covers the difference between what you owe and what your insurance pays out, but only if the car is stolen or totaled. So if your car is sitting in your driveway right now, gap insurance does nothing for the balance you owe on your car loan. So what do you do with everything we've talked about so far? Well, you should pull up your loan and answer a few real questions. What's your rate? What do you owe? What's the car actually worth on sites like Kelley Blue Book? And how much cash do you have available? Once you know those numbers, you can figure out whether paying the loan off early actually makes sense for your situation. And if you're already underwater or need a real way out, you have a few options. Keep the loan and attack the principal directly. Refinance to free up your monthly cash flow, or consolidate the negative equity with a personal loan if you're also dealing with other high-interest debt. And if consolidating that negative equity with a personal loan is the option that makes sense for you, consider a company like CreditNinja. They offer personal loans with up to $5,000 the same day, and they're made for people with real, not perfect, credit histories. So if you're under financial stress, head to CreditNinja.com to see what you'd qualify for. You can learn more about CreditNinja's reviews in this video.